Okay, in this particular sample, we're going to introduce the concept of global variables. In theory, global variables are when you declare a variable at the top of the code that is outside of any function. And the idea is if they're declared up here, they're usable by all the functions below it. However, this code does not work fully, and I'm going to try to see if you can figure out why. So we're working with global parameters / arguments or variables. Look at the code below and see if it will work. Set up a value up here at the top so the whole entire program can access, change, and use the variable. So I have a variable called first and last, and I make it empty. We have a function called print name, and we have a function called main. So you know the code drops down and sees these two variables and says, okay, got the variables. It sees the def print name and sees the def main. Here is where we call the main, so we go to here. And we ask, the code asks you to enter a first name and last name and stores it in the variables. And then we call the print name. Notice we're not passing these two variables in here. We transfer control to the print name, so we come up here, and we tag the variable as global. Notice this is a reserved word. And it's our hope that the values that we had set here, first and last, are going to be stored up here and they could be used here. But we're going to see if that actually works. Then we print out the first and last, and then I change the first to be Moose, and I change the last to be Candido. Moose is my dog. Then we go back to the main, and then I print out to the screen the first and last. So I just want to make sure we set the ground rules of what we're trying to do here. Up at the top, we have a first and a last declared. And then we use a global version of first and last, or attempting to use them, I should say. We use the values, then change it. And then here we have first and last. Let's see what happens when this code runs. I'm going to put in my name and hit enter. Notice Brian gets put into here and Candido gets put into here, and I call print name. So we come over here and we got first and last. Because first and last here are kept or separate, that's called scope. They're only allowed to be accessed here. This first and last is different than this first and last. The same name, but because these are encapsulated or found within this function, they're only available there. And the first and last here are only available here. So it prints out a blank and a blank. Let's go look at that output real quick. Let's see, let's go back over here. Here we go. Here's that output. I'm going to minimize that. So notice blank and blank. Then we come back out of here, and then we print out from within the main the first and last, and I do in fact get Brian Candido. So we're not able to share code at this, share variables at this point. The first and last here are separate from this first and this last, as well as here. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to truly make global variables.